Hi, Tana Marshall here with your Feel Good Friday message. And today I want to talk to you about the feeling of abundance. And this is something that's talked about a lot in law of attraction circles, in the teachings of law of attraction. They say, oh, abundance is a feeling, and you've got to feel it before it shows up. And that's all well and good. But then I think a lot of us are going, well, how do I do that? How do I feel abundant when I don't feel abundant, when I'm actually in a place of lack? Because a lot of people will start focusing on money, and they're actually in a place of lack, like I want it but I don't have it. And that's a big energetic conflict in law of attraction, because when you focus on something you want and the afterthought is I want it but I don't have it, that's resistance, and it's keeping it from you. So I want you to think about how you feel about money. What's your vision of it? What's your idea of it? How does it show up in your life? How do you feel about it right now? And I'm going to share a story with you to illustrate this point, why I'm doing this whole video today, because I had a big shift and I really needed that shift. And things kind of really amazingly started flowing easily. So last year I started getting concerned about some things that are going to be happening this coming year that are going to affect our finances. And I started getting into a place of lack. And I noticed it showing up as little things breaking, needing to be repaired or replaced, little expenses I wasn't expecting showing up. And every time that happened, I thought, okay, this is because of where my energy is and where I'm focused. And I need to make a shift. But I didn't make a big enough shift. I didn't really focus on that enough to make that shift. And one of the bigger things that came up was my car needed new brakes and shocks and pads, like everything, to the tune of $1,300. And I was like, right before the holidays. And I thought, okay, well, this is here because of me. It's something we also like to say in law of attraction. So you have to acknowledge everything. And if it's something you didn't necessarily want, you have to go, okay, how can I make this shift to feel better about it and attract something different? So at that point, I started focusing on the fact that my car was 11 years old. It was paid off, which I was so happy about. And that's a pretty long time to not have any brake issues at all. So I was thinking, my car is great. It didn't need any brake stuff until now. And so it's $1,300 is better than an ongoing car payment. So, which I probably shouldn't have focused on that part, but whatever. So I was trying to focus on the positive. And so things kind of evened out a little bit. And then flash forward about a month, and if you've been watching my videos, you know I totaled my car about a month ago. And so that was a big wake-up call on so many levels. So I really wanted to try and stay in a good place, because if you've had a car accident, you know, it shifts your energy and it throws you off. And sometimes it's hard to get back on track. And when that's happened in the past, I remember immediately just starting to pray and ask for angels to be with me and help me. And usually the whole process was pretty smooth and even somewhat pleasant. I felt supported by people at the insurance company and rental car companies and all that kind of thing. But because my energy was already a little bit off when this happened, it wasn't the same smooth ride as it was before. So, but I did have great people helping me out. My insurance people were great. It was just a little more complicated than before, and I'm sure it's because of where I was energetically. So partway into this process, you know, I have my rental car. They tell me my car is totaled. I need to get a new car. I didn't know what I wanted. I finally decided on what I wanted, just something very simple to get me and my mom around and nothing fancy. Found what I wanted, found a whole bunch of them. I was going to get something used. You know what? I'll never buy another used car because everybody leases, so there are all these previously leased cars that are only 2 or 3 years old with very low mileage. So that's what I was looking at, and the prices were amazing. So I knew what I wanted. I was going to go look for them, but there was so much going on with the holidays, and my husband and I were going out of town for, it was supposed to be this relaxing 4-day trip to Palm Springs right before Christmas. And you know, there were some delays with insurance and getting my check, and then I had to get some extra money out of savings to supplement for what I knew I wanted. I wasn't going to get another 11-year-old car. I wanted something a little newer. So there was just a lot of energetic stuff going on around that. And while my husband and I were away in Palm Springs, we were talking about the car, and my dream car, I always had this dream car in my mind, and I decided to check it out since I needed a new car. And I actually realized I wasn't comfortable with it. It's a luxury car. I'm not going to go into details, but it's a luxury car. And I realized, that it would draw attention to me that I would be uncomfortable with. And so I realized, okay, well, the car I've been dreaming about for years, I don't want it anymore. So then I was really just like, okay, I'm just going to get this simple car. But then we passed another car while we were walking down the street. And I said, I do like this one. And my husband said, that's a really nice car. It's got similar lines to the other one that you like. You should think about it. But that too was a luxury car. And I thought, I just need to get the simple car. I just want it to be easy. This is how much money I have to spend. So we're walking up the street and I see another one. Hello, Law of Attraction. So I'm like, oh, look, there's another. He's like, that's a really nice car. And later in the day, he took me aside and he said, you know what? I don't think you should settle on this other car. I think you should check this out and see what's available. So we got back to our room that night. I did a little search online. I actually found one in white, not too much more than what I was going to pay for just the real simple car in Palm Springs. Hello. So we decided to go look at it just to see the car itself and the brand, because I'd never driven it. I never owned one. So I was just going to look at it, sit in it, see if I liked it, how did it feel. Long story short, we wound up buying the one I found online. I had to finance a little bit of it, but I'm going to pay that off within this year. So I have a luxury car. So I don't have the dream of the dream car anymore. It's here now. And when we got home, then I was like, okay, now I've got to deal with this car payment coming up and I've got to figure out my finances. And I thought, you know what? I have got to get into a place of abundance and appreciate this car and acknowledge the abundance that I have already in my life that allowed me to get this car and that allowed me to know that I could finance it and make payments for about a year. So I knew I really needed to make a big shift, and so I had to go back into my Abraham stuff. So I was listening to some Abraham videos, and there was one, they were talking to somebody in the hot seat, this guy who wanted to attract more abundance, and it's usually about money, 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 but to me that's part of it, because abundance means just, it could be things coming to you, it could be more people in your life, more like-minded people, it could be experiences that make you feel abundant. And also, one thing that I want to remind you of with Law of Attraction, for stuff that you want, you can actually focus on the thing, just go right to the end result and take money out of the equation. Because usually we're like, okay, I want this thing and it costs this much, and how am I going to get that money, and how much of it a payment can I afford? So just eliminate all that, because that puts you in a place of lack and it'll stress you out. So focus on the end result. What do you want? I mean, this happened with me. I didn't even realize. It happened so fast. It's like one day it happened, like boom, I have the car. So just start thinking about the end result of what you want. So that's what Abraham was trying to emphasize to this man in the hot seat. And they said these 3 words that just resonated with me. And I was like, oh, that's what I want to focus on. That makes me feel really good. They were asking him, what is it going to give you? How do you want to feel? What are your thoughts about this? If you can hear the cat scratching at the door, I'm sorry. So he was having trouble articulating it, which a lot of people do in the hot seat with Abraham. And so Abraham gave him some words, and 3 of those words were ease, fun, and fulfillment. I was like, oh, I love that, because don't we all want everything to be easy? We don't want to have to work hard for money or work hard for the things that we want. We want things to be easy, and it can be easy. And fun, I am such a big proponent of fun. Fun has got to be part of my daily routine, of my work, my relationships. So I was all about the fun, totally resonated with that. And I love the word fulfillment, because that encompasses everything. You can be financially fulfilled, emotionally fulfilled, physically fulfilled. I love the idea, because it's so broad to me. And if you just focus on that, the feeling of fulfillment, and be open to how it might show up in your life, I think that in of itself brings a feeling of abundance. So I really liked these 3 words, and I started focusing on them, and I kept them in my mind throughout the day, and I was just noticing where I already had abundance in my life. In my home, I have these loving pets, my mom is doing well, we have money in the bank and savings, and everything is good. All is well. We have great neighbors. I've got a great family. My husband is incredible. I'm healthy. Everybody's healthy. So the more I focused on that, the better I felt. And all of a sudden, I went to check one of my accounts online, and there was all this money there that I wasn't anticipating. I wasn't expecting. I didn't know it was going to be there. And it was a lot more money than what I had already set aside for this car. So I had such a feeling of, okay, this stuff works. And that's what you need to do. You need to just hold on to it and stick with it for a little while until you see some evidence. And the evidence, no matter how small it is, oh God, wait, I forgot to tell you this one thing. Oh my God. Right after we bought the car, this is really important. We went to my head was spinning, and I was happy about it, but I was stressed out, and we'd been at the dealership all day, and we went to Target because I just needed to walk around and zone out. And I had to use the restroom, and I walk into the stall, and on the floor, there's a penny and a nickel. And I knew that that was the universe going, don't worry, I got this. I'll cover you financially. So that kind of started the ball rolling. And then once I got into the ease, the fun, and the fulfillment, then this other huge amount of money showed up. So I'm telling you, acknowledge every little bit of abundance that's in your life, not just financial, physical, emotional, mental. Are you doing work that you love? Do you have coworkers that you enjoy working with? Do you enjoy where you live? You know, when you find coins on the ground, acknowledge that as a gift from the universe. Don't look at it and go, oh, it's only a penny. No, that's a penny from the universe. And if you appreciate that penny, that could turn into $100 bill. And you don't know how. So just be open to it and just be appreciative of all of it. So it just gave me such a sense of security, feeling like, okay, now I know I have such trust, more trust than I've had in a long time, that I will always be abundantly provided for. And it did start with a feeling. So I just want to emphasize and maybe explain to you, and I'm hoping that hearing my story as an example will help you find that same feeling in your life, because I know it's hard to just go, oh, abundance is a feeling, but how do you feel it? That's how you feel it. You focus on the little things and appreciate them for what they are and be like, oh my God, look at this. And then watch what else shows up. And regardless of what it is, if it's any kind of abundance, appreciate it. Be glad, celebrate it, and acknowledge the universe for providing for you. And it will go, okay, you acknowledge that, you appreciate that, here's more, here's more. So it's got me really excited to see what's going to be coming up in the next year for me, because I feel like I'm really opening myself up to possibilities that I thought were not possibilities. But just almost as an experiment, it's like, let's see what shows up this year. And I'll be sharing it with you as these things show up. So you can be on this little experimental journey with me week to week. So I want to thank you for joining me, because you provide abundance for me. The fact that you're here with me, spending this time with me, I appreciate you so much. And to me, you are abundance of like-minded people and of company and community, and that means so much to me. So thank you again for being here and watching. And if you enjoy these videos, remember to subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Where's my thing? I thought I want to point to where I put it. Where is it? Wait, where do I put it? Oh, right there. Yay! Remember to subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and if you feel so inspired, share with family and friends. And if you'd like these videos delivered straight to your inbox every Friday, jump over to my website, TanaMarshall.com, and get on the mailing list. I share little tidbits and insights just with my list that I don't share anywhere else, and I'd love to have you there, so come on over. And with that, I just want to wish you a great weekend, an abundant weekend. Any little thing that shows up, acknowledge it, appreciate it, say thank you, I'm open for more, I'm open for more. Just remember, whatever it is, it can grow, and focus on that end result. Focus on the thing that you want and imagine it, feel it, think about it, have the idea, the image, whatever works for you. Just focus on that and leave money out of the equation. And between that and appreciating what you have, oh my goodness, I'll be amazed to hear what shows up for you. So if you have a great story, share it below. I would love to hear it, and everybody else could use that, because it's just more evidence that reinforces this faith for all of us. So have a great weekend, have that faith, appreciate every little bit of abundance that comes your way, and I'll see you next time.